today is being celebrated as World Food Safety Day. And we thank our various ministries and other agencies for partnering with us. At this time, I'm going to invite Mr. Siebert Mitchell, who is a technical specialist for tax reform at the Ministry of Finance, to offer prayers.
Thank you. Good morning. Before I offer prayers, I was invited also to give brief greetings. So I'll just say on behalf of the Honorable Dr. Nigel Clark, Minister of Finance and Public Service, Ms. Darlene Morrison, Financial Secretary, and the staff of the Ministry of Finance and our agencies, we would like to pledge our continued support to the efforts of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, also the Planning Committee of the World Food Safety Day celebrations, along with the Codex team. The ministry has always offered technical and monetary support to the core functions of our partners, and we are proud to have been a part of this effort, and we hope that going forward we will have events which are of as resounding a success as this has been. Let us pray. Heavenly, most righteous Father, we come to Thee with humility in our hearts. Father, we recognize Your awesomeness. Father, recognize that it is through Your effort that this World Food Safety Day has been a success. Father, as we are about to be drawn into the closing ceremony, we ask that You be with us, we ask that You guide us, we ask that You bless us. Father, we ask that You place a special blessing on the ministers, Ministers Green, Minister Shaw. Father, we ask that You touch them in a very special way. Assist them, Father, in ensuring that we will achieve first world status in very short order. Father, we ask that You bless all the other officials and participants. Be with us, guide us. For those who are late, we ask that You hasten their steps. Lead us to eternal life. Through Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mitchell. And we accept, of course, the greetings from the Ministry of Finance. At this time, I'll invite our chair of the Planning Committee and environmental health specialist at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Mr. Colin Cooper, to give his opening remarks at this time.
Good morning, Honorable Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Honorable Minister of Health and Wellness, other distinguished members on the platform, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is celebration of World Food Safety Day. Food safety saves lives. It is not only a crucial component to food security, but it also plays a vital role in reducing foodborne disease. Every year, approximately 600 million people fall sick as a result of around 200 different types of foodborne illnesses. The burden of such illness falls most heavily on the poor and on the young. In addition, Foodborne illnesses is responsible for approximately 420,000 preventable deaths every year. World Food Safety Day is an important way of, one, making people aware of food safety issues. Two, demonstrating how to prevent illness through food safety. Three, discussing collaborative approaches to improve food safety across all sectors. And four, promoting solutions and ways of being more food safe. In Jamaica, through the National Codex Committee, we commenced our planning for this event almost 4 months ago. We used the slogan, food safety is everyone's business, and the theme was localized to indicate safe food for a healthy Jamaica. We embarked on this journey with the kind support of our ministries, departments, and agencies, notably Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Ministry of Finance, Planning and the Public Service, and Ministry of Health and Wellness. Private sector support through the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, and, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, our international partners, namely the Food and Agriculture Organization, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA, and our own Pan-American Health Organization and World Health Organization, PAHO. Against that background, we can safely say, today we celebrate with the world in this momentous occasion. We commence with a week of activities from May 31st with a church service. And along the way, we would have had different webinars on the day leading up to today. Today will be a two-part situation. We'll have the morning celebratory session, and in the afternoon, we'll have another session. However, we will continue to provide information on the various ministries, departments, and agencies' website until June 11th. We want to take this opportunity to thank all our partners who stood with us, faced the hurdles, and overcame the challenges. Our steadfast assurance is that we will continue to provide the nation with our quality service and dedication in continuation of this trust to provide safe food for all. Remember, everyone has a right to safe, healthy, and nutritious food. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members on the platform, honorable ministers, I thank you all.
I am pleased to join the National Codex Committee of Jamaica and the world in celebrating World Food Safety Day 2021. The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce continues to play a critical role in regulating manufacturers and other suppliers of food to ensure that food is produced in a safe and hygienic way. Brand Jamaica is very recognizable in our international community. It is therefore important that our manufacturing companies produce high-quality export goods to protect Jamaica's reputation for having among the best world-class food safety systems. Thankfully, the National Compliance and Regulatory Authority and other border regulatory agencies are ensuring that our manufacturers are adhering to food safety standards and are producing nutritionally safe food for consumption. Today, I want to emphasize that food safety is critical to everyone. Consumers are deserving of receiving a properly labeled product that is free from contamination, does not result in foodborne disease, and is nutritious. Manufacturers and food suppliers must adhere to good food safety practices. Food is the most essential commodity, and the rise of globalization has connected markets and consumers more than ever. Jamaica is happy for this ease of access, but globalization has grave consequences. Poor food practices in our factories, restaurants, and other production facilities will ruin Jamaica's reputation. Consumers are entitled to safe food. Children deserve to have nutritious food. I implore all manufacturers and the food suppliers to invest in good, safe food practices. Continue to produce high-quality food that is safe, sustainable, and affordable. The COVID-19 pandemic has created an opportunity for our food producers and suppliers to invest in robust and effective food safety practices. Consumers are paying greater attention to what they consume. Businesses must now seize this opportunity to become more compliant and competitive. Consumers all over the world want to have food of high quality that is affordable. The government of Jamaica's role in regulating businesses is critical to ensuring that food is safe for consumption. Our inspectors and other compliance officers are working with our food providers so that consumers are protected from unsafe food. We all have an important role to play. Food safety is everybody's business. Happy World Food Safety Day 2021, Jamaica.
All right, so that was a message from the Honorable Audit, the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, and we thank him for his support and for his message. We're going to see now videos from 3 locations that we would have visited during the past week as part of our celebration. So we have recap videos from Seprod and from Island Grill, as well as Jamaica Boilers. And it's a part of the World Food Safety Tour. And we wanted to highlight best practices across the island. So the team would have visited some entities, and then we will now see what came out of the tour. So the next 3 videos that you'll see are from the tour that the team participated in.
Tanisha Munda. I'm the production manager here at Jamaica Grain and Cereals, a subsidiary of the Separate Group of Companies. At the Separate Group of Companies, we produce a wide variety of products, everything you can think of to fill your supermarket basket. So we have the Oils and Fats division, which produces the cooking oils that we need and the margarines. We have the Dairy division, which produces supplement, condensed milk, cow's milk. We have the farms that produces the milk, to send to the dairy factory, right? And we have Jamaica Grain and Cereals that we do everything grain. So your cornmeals and your flours are produced right here. At Separate, we are very big on food safety. And one of the ways we can prove to our customers that we are actually big on food safety is the fact that all 4 of the factories are food safety certified, and we're certified with FSSC 22000, and we're in compliance with all our government agencies as well. It's our utmost important to us that our food is safe for human consumption at all times. So that's always been our main aim, and despite COVID, that continues to be one of our main things, to ensure that everyone who picks up a pack of our product can ensure that it is made by Separate, must be good.
My name is Alethea Fletcher. I am the Food Safety Officer here at Jamaica Grain and Cereals Limited, a subsidiary of the Separate Group of Companies. Okay, since COVID-19, here at Separate, hand washing has always been in place, but we have stepped up the pace in ensuring that our staff wash and sanitize their hands more frequently. We have also ensured with our sanitation program that we clean and sanitize our equipment and our environment on a more regular basis. Separate aim is to ensure that we comply with all regulatory requirements, whether internationally and locally. We work with the Ministry of Industry, with the Bureau of Standard and NCRA, and also the Ministry of Health, to ensure that the products that we produce are safe at all times for consumption. The Bureau of Standard assists us with labels locally. For products that we export, we ask our distributors to assist us with the labeling regulations to ensure that we are compliant with the countries we export our product to.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Clive Harris, Quality Assurance Manager for Island Grill's processing plant, and it's now 16 locations. So food safety is something that we are heavily invested in. It ties into our brand and our motto of eat good, live good. So part of living that promise to our customer is having food safety at the forefront of it all. So on a regular basis, we do several checks and verification just to ensure that the practices which are in place in the restaurants, they are being adhered to. Some of them are our food safety audit that is done by the quality assurance team, as well as our QSC, we call it in-house. So the QSC audits are the daily check-ins, which checks on personal hygiene. We check on our cold storage practice or dry storage practice, as well as our food preparation practices, just to ensure that they are being enforced and adhered to. And once we do these audits, in getting continuous improvement and making everyone aware of where we are, we have our pep talk board, our notice board. All these results from the audits are posted there, which we use as pep talk guides on a daily basis as well to bring awareness to specific areas which we might have a gap in. So our COVID-19 audits, for example, that one was recently instituted where because of COVID, we're trying to be compliant to the government standard. We are doing a lot more personal hygiene checks, so twice per day that is done. And this is posted on the notice board as well and shared with the team. It also covers the cleaning and sanitizing aspects. So a new initiative which came in because of COVID as well was our 30-minute wipe down of the hand-touch surfaces. Now, because of COVID, this one has been getting more focus, and on a general basis, we'll wipe down our workstation with sanitizer throughout the shift just to ensure that we clean as we go and we're not cross-contaminated. And as part of our protocol, you see our team members all wearing clean, appropriate masks on a daily basis. This is something that's checked on the COVID-19 audit as well. And this is a part of their uniform. So we give them masks to wear in-house. And while they're on the road, they have a separate mask in their bag, which they wear on the road. So there's no chance of them bringing in bacteria when they're coming on the shift. So the first thing that we do when we enter operation is wash our hands. So we're coming from outside, we want to ensure that we don't touch anything else, we just go straight to the hand wash station. So this one is readily accessible to everyone as they enter the shift. It's properly stocked with the necessities, which are antibacterial soap and paper, and there is running water, of course, and clean bins. And the posters are there just as a reminder to demonstrate the proper hand washing techniques when they're washing their hands. I also want to ensure that they're doing it the right way. They're not just doing it, but it's being done correctly. All right, so this is our cold storage area. So the temperature for this cold storage area is typically 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below, because we know we store our temperature sensitive products here and we want to maintain a cold chain for other goods. So inside you'll see that it is properly labeled. We have our marinated chicken being stored separately from our vegetables, and we have our juices and prepped items stored separately as well. So we basically do this just to ensure that there isn't any cross-contamination happening between the different items that we store here. All right, so if you look at our vegetable section, you see there are processed produce and there are also raw produce. What that means is the processed produce, those are coming from the production plant. So they have been processed there and just delivered to the store, and they just use that directly. So they don't undergo any further processing except pulling the bags and putting it into the pots. Now these are as fresh as it can be, and one way that we assure food safety and quality from that end is we conduct regular farm audits on our farmers. So whether they're small farmers or large farmers, we still audit their farm just to ensure that their good agricultural practices is in alignment with that of the Ministry of Agriculture and also in alignment with food safety. So from the get-go, which is, we call it farm to fork, that's the food supply chain in our eyes, farm to fork. So from the farm end, which is our producers, we ensure that they know the practices and the standards as well, because food safety starts with them. So in our audits, we'll just go through their farms, ensure that everything is okay, and we're getting top quality products from them at the end of the day, which we are now able to deliver that to our customers. All right, so now we're in our food processing area where the action takes place. So chicken is our core business, and the team right across all restaurants, they know that when they're cooking our chicken, grilling our chicken, the internal temperature of the chicken has to be 165 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Because if it doesn't reach that internal temperature in the thickest part of the chicken, then that poses a risk of having foodborne illness in our customers, which we do not want in the first place. So we ensure that when the persons are grilling the chicken, they're checking the temperature just to ensure it reaches the right temperature. So in addition to that, if you look around, you see that our utensils are stored in sanitizer water when they're not being used, and they are also color coded. So you'll see we have yellow tongues for our chicken, and the one that's used for while the chicken is on the grill is separate for when we're serving chicken to the customer, just to minimize cross-contamination. And you'll see our green tongues, those are used for vegetables only at our sandwich station. We also have blue tongues, which are used for handling our fish products. So that's solely for fish. And then we have our silver tongues, which are used for our other items, such as our plantain and our festival. Now we're in our dry storage area. So we store dry goods here. So our packaging material and dry goods such as our rice or festival mix, we store in this area. You look around, you see it's clean and tidy. They sweep and wipe the floors daily. And once per week, they'll pull out these barriers that you see here just to have a deep cleaning being done of the area. For this year, we try to maintain the temperature of 50 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll have our vents here and our fans to assist in keeping the area cool, because we do not want to promote the growth of any storage pest in the establishment. And this is one way in which we do so. So here at Island Grill, so both the restaurants and at our processing plant, we have what we call an integrated pest management program. What that means is we marry sanitation with facilities maintenance with regular pest control treatment just to safeguard our operation from pest. So they all go hand in hand. One doesn't work without the other, because we can't be treating alone and then the other contributors are there. So that's the principle that we have adapted just to have that robust pest control program in place.
Remember, food safety is everyone's business. It's your business.
For over 60 years, we at the Best Dressed Chicken have kept our commitment to you, our valued partners and consumers, supporting communities through difficult times and emerging stronger. Now more than ever, we stand with you. As we reopen our doors, we remain committed to the highest safety and sanitation standards to keep both you and our team safe and our production strong. We continue to pledge our support to all our community, wholesalers, retailers, schools, restaurants, and hotels to continue feeding Jamaica and helping to rebuild our economy. Together, we will become stronger, more resilient as we continue on our mission to help Jamaica grow strong.
All right, I trust that we are learning a lot of information from our local companies that are involved in food safety and all the practices that they are carrying out. And of course, we have to be very proud of them. We're on an international standard that we have to uphold. And so we can be very proud that we are a part of the World Food Safety Day celebration, which is a global celebration. And you're going to hear now a message from one of our international partners, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the FAO. We're going to hear a message from the Food Safety and Quality Officer, Ms. Marissa Sapio. I hope I got the name correct, and I want to ensure that you're listening. So we have prizes coming up. We have some giveaways throughout the ceremony. So I invite you to listen to this message from the Food and Agriculture Organization for the United Nations.
Hello, good morning, and thank you for inviting me to speak a few words to you on June 7, Food Safety Day. I was asked to speak a little bit about food safety as a shared responsibility. We know that the consumption and production of safe food have immediate and long-term benefits for people, the planet, and the economy. We also know that food safety is intertwined within the different sustainable development goals. Of these, I would like to mention 4 where food safety is of utmost critical importance. For Zero Hunger, SDG 2, the statement, there is no food security without food safety. And this makes a lot of sense when you think about giving safe food to those vulnerable populations or to those populations that really have a threat to their food security. We have seen many times over the years children who get ill with foodborne disease. Many of them are stunted in their growth, some of them die. Under SDG 3, food safety has direct positive impact on people's health and nutritional intake. This is also related to food security, and it has a direct impact, particularly for children. Under SDG 12, food loss and waste can be minimized along the supply chain by ensuring food safety, to comply with responsible production and consumption. And the last one that's emphasized here is SDG 17, where cooperation across sectors is the best way to ensure food is safe. And this goes back to the theme that I was asked to talk about, which is food safety is a shared responsibility. We will pick this up in the next slides. We know that our planet is healthier when we produce food safely and sustainably. Our food system is right now under a transformation. We hope this transformation can make food safer and production more sustainable. So here we would have to see that there is a way towards safer food production and, an important thing, the correct use of pesticides, antimicrobials, and fertilizers. Which leads me to the One Health approach. Most of us food safetiers already have worked under the One Health approach. Implicitly, future food systems need to recognize the systemic connections between the health of people, animals, plants, the environment. Under animal and plant health, we need to ensure that agriculture produces sufficient and safe food. Ensuring environmental health means and appropriate waste management will minimize the risk of contamination of food from the environment. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought light to the close relationship between humans, animals, and the environment, and has never before highlighted the vulnerabilities or the weaknesses we have in our food safety systems. So, FAO calls to build forward better, starting from COVID-19, to raise awareness of food safety related issues such as food hygiene, antimicrobial resistance, zoonotic diseases, climate change, food fraud, to identify weaknesses and/or vulnerabilities in food production and control systems, and to increase the use of innovation, science, technology, remote sensing, all these different tools that we have to produce, monitor, and trade safe food. On this note, we need to put forward for food safety a strengthened multi-sectoral collaboration where we will involve actors from different sectors to work together. This means, of course, working along the food chain from farmers all the way to consumers, to civil society, to industry, to consumer groups, to government, to food processing, to promote local actions and honor traditional knowledge, and also all the while strengthening international collaboration to learn from others and share our experiences in food safety. Food safety is a shared responsibility. Thank you very much. I would like to wish Jamaica, the government, the people, and all the stakeholders a very happy World Food Safety Day. Thank you.
would have heard the message just now from Ms. Marissa Capio, who's the Food Safety and Quality Officer at the Food and Agriculture Organization for United Nations, FAO. And I want to ask, let me see if persons were paying attention. So she spoke about some Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, and I want you to tell me, using the raised hand feature, those for our attendees, Sustainable Development Goal number 17. What does it entail, or what's the main point of SDG 17? Let me see who's here and going to tell me the answer. All right, I see Bevine Dickinson. Let me hear.
Corporation.
Tell me, go again.
Corporation.
Yeah, forgive me. Tell me.
Corporation.
You have to give me more than that, man. All of them are corporation.
Or you had asked for the main team.
Yes, corporation, but corporation, I mean, you can give me.
Cooperation between entities to ensure food safety. So everyone should be working together, from the farmer, the operator, and the businesses. All persons should be working together.
All right, excellent. All right, I'll give you that right. Cooperation across sectors. Yes, Sustainable Development Goal number 17 is looking at cooperation across all sectors. All right, so Renee, you can just take our information and we will arrange to get the prize for you. So, and listen out, there's more. We have more giveaways. So you can pay attention to what is happening with the presentations, and then you get a chance to win some prizes. We're gonna hear now a message from the representative from IICA, Dr. Elizabeth Johnson, and we're going to hear more of what they have to say, their message for World Food Safety Day.
Greetings to all. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture in Jamaica is pleased to join our partner organizations, PAHO WHO and FAO, in raising awareness on the importance of safe food from farm to plate. In this very complex food value chain, all actors must be aware of and judiciously use science in combination with our unique context to ensure the safety of our food supply at all times. The team Safe Food Now for a Healthy Tomorrow brings focus to our shared responsibility to ensure our food supply meets our immediate and future needs for good, healthy, and productive lifestyles. Embedded in this theme is also the requirement for a good understanding of the science that links safe food and health. This means taking a systems approach and understanding that all of our actions impact the safety of our food supply. By now, you're probably wondering, what exactly are we talking about here? So I'll give a little example. Our food supply starts with a seed, which requires someone to care for it in an environment conducive for it to produce and become part of our food supply. If the soil or water in which that seed is planted is contaminated with heavy metals or industrial waste, then that's essentially what we will be consuming as food. By now, some of us are probably thinking, well, it's a good thing I eat mainly seafood. Truth be told, all the waste that's dumped into rivers and waterways eventually gets to the oceans, and therefore into our seafood as well. Since all of our oceans are connected, it stands to reason that dumping or pollution in one area will eventually get to everyone. While there may be a lot of water in the oceans, not all man-made chemicals can be biologically broken down into harmless forms. I'm sure by now you're remembering your class on the food chain, where several little fish get eaten by bigger fish, and so on until we eat the fish that has accumulated the waste that we have created. Over time, these small doses of contaminants accumulate in our bodies and have adverse and eventually detrimental effects on our health. One lesson we can certainly learn from the COVID-19 pandemic is that what we can't see can hurt us. An ever-growing percentage of people who have recovered from COVID-19 are also experiencing lingering maladies or what's being called long hauler syndrome. As this is all new, data is being continuously collected in order to make recommendations. We therefore need a paradigm shift or game change to a science-based systems approach to our agri-food systems and all sectors which share the same soil, water, wind, and solar resources to ensure a safe and healthy food supply. Here in Jamaica, ICA is working with the Ministries of Agriculture and Fisheries, Industry, Investment and Commerce, Health and Wellness, Science, Energy and Technology, and Academia, as well as our FAO and PAHO WHO partners, promoting a safe food supply for Jamaica. This also involves the monitoring and regulating of the food chain to reduce the likelihood of foodborne diseases. ICA has provided capacity building and technical assistance to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, numerous private sector companies, and the previously mentioned ministries, supporting Jamaica's participation in meetings of the Codex Alimentarius Commission, the international standard-setting body for food safety. ICA is pleased to have also collaborated with the National Agricultural Health and Food Safety Coordinating Committee to develop a food control manual for Jamaica. This manual will be launched this month and documents the integrated institutional arrangements that govern food in Jamaica. It is our hope that this document will be widely used as a reference or guide for those who produce and prepare food, from farmers to fisherfolk, manufacturers, caterers, vendors, cooks, and all those responsible for making Jamaica's food supply safe. In closing, I would like to commend the public and private sector of Jamaica for being well on the way to a holistic and systems approach to food production. ICA commits our continued support in working with you and our partner agencies in making and keeping Jamaica's food supply safe for all to enjoy. Thank you very much.
Antimicrobial resistance occurs when bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens become resistant to medication and generally what we call antimicrobials. When they become resistant to these antimicrobials, it makes treatment of diseases and illnesses more difficult.
The best way to think of antimicrobial resistance is to think of preventing the creation of super germs. When we use cleaning agents and chemical or drugs inappropriately, we just give these germs a touch of death, but we don't kill them. And if we're not cleaning properly and killing those germs, then we're creating super germs, which can cause sicknesses.
ECA is targeting the food chain. We are collaborating with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Health to develop a surveillance program to monitor for the possibility and incidence of antimicrobial resistance within our food chain. So one, do we have pathogens or bacteria like Salmonella that are showing trends or signs of resistance to antimicrobials?
So in this way, we can actually prevent the buildup and so keep our food supply safe.
We were so happy when ECA came on board and decided to help the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries to develop this plan.
We will be taking samples from animals to test to see if we identify pathogens in the animals that are resistant to antimicrobials. We will be particularly targeting foodborne illness pathogens.
We have a program that can go across all animal production sectors. I love the idea that we're using a One Health approach. So we are strengthening our partnerships that we have out there with the animal production system. But we're bringing in all other sectors that we would not normally would have in a program. We're including academia with research. We're also including the labs, both from the animal and the human lab sector. And of course, ministries are working together, the agriculture and fisheries, health and wellness, and of course, commerce. We're all putting our hands together to develop this.
We intend to roll out a robust surveillance program that allows us to test at critical points along the food chain, and that will allow government authorities to take corrective action to reduce the likelihood of antimicrobial resistance occurring in our food chain.
We want to be able to tell all of our populace in Jamaica and the world that your food is safe to eat.
All right, so that is the message from Dr. Elizabeth Johnson, and of course, you would have seen a video on antimicrobial matters. So a quick question now: what does IICA mean? What does it stand for? What is the acronym? Did they say they said ECA? Let me see by using the raised hand feature. IICA, what does it stand for? All right, I see a fast hand here. Orlando?
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
So I was going to the answer. The answer is Inter-American Institute for Cooperation.
You finish?
IIC, right?
Something missing, man. Try again. IICA.
Oh, IICA.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2.
It's IICA, so it's Inter-American Institute for Cooperation, and let me see if I can.
All right, your time up. Your time up. Your time up. Tavia. Tavia. You have to unmute. We're not hearing you.
Oh.
Yes. Tell us now.
Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture.
All right, that sounds like it. Yes. All right.
Right.
You must get prize, yes? Just type your email address in the type your email address in the chat. I will contact you. You're gonna get a gift basket. Orlando, better luck next time. We have more questions. We have more questions coming. All right, so just type your email address in the chat and our team will be in touch with you. All right, so remember we're at the closing ceremony for World Food Safety Day. We're celebrating today.
Good morning to all participants that follow us from Jamaica in this World Food Safety Day. Every 7th of June, we recognize all the effort of all actors along the food value chain to ensure that safe food arrives to the households all over the world. Food safety is a multidisciplinary discipline and involves a coordinated work between sectors, the health sector, the agriculture sector, environmental sector, the private sector, and also the academia. Some of you may know that foodborne illnesses affect 77 million of people in the Americas. From them, 9,000 die. The most vulnerable population are children. Foodborne illnesses cost around $7.4 billion in the Americas in loss of productivity, but also medical cost. It is important to strengthen food control systems and promote a food safety culture. And Jamaica is not an exception. Jamaica has been a Codex Alimentarius member since 1971 and since then has been working hard to implement good practices all along the food value chain, adapt standards, and also promoting this food safety culture. Jamaica has worked hard to improve their food inspection system, making it more preventive, risk-based, which saves resources, not only human capital, but also economical resources. And more recently, Jamaica is assessing their food control system just to identify some areas of improvement and also to promote this food safety culture in the country. This World Food Safety Day, the motto is Safe Food Now for a Healthy Tomorrow, and we would like to emphasize the importance of safe food for healthy people, healthy animals, healthy planet, and also for a healthy economy in the long term. During the COVID-19 pandemic, it was highlighted the importance to have a strong immune system to face COVID-19 or other diseases. A strong immune system can only be achieved through safe and healthy food. And this can only be achieved thanks to all actors that work hard behind the scenes and that this date is dedicated to. With this message, I would like to thank all these actors along the food value chain in Jamaica for all their dedication strengthening the food control system of the country, and I would like to wish you an excellent World Food Safety Day.
I'm Spencer Jarrett. I work at a tutorial crop farm. At this area, we really focus on food safety in particular. We are currently in the greenhouse and we have apparatus set up so that we can, in fact, ensure that feet are clean before they enter the house. We also have would normally have substances in them that would ensure and see to the cleanliness of shoes and so on before you enter the house. We also have a two-door system which ensures that pests in particular are kept out as much as is possible. we focus quite a bit on research, exceptionally important for food safety. We look in particular at the organoleptic quality of our products, where we actually look at the fruits. We measure several particular parameters that we are interested in, and we measure to see that they are up to international standards. We also look at social quality, where we ensure that workers have access to areas where they can wash their hands. We have bathroom facilities. We also have all the basic necessities for eating, areas where they can sit and talk, etc. during lunch. We have a strawberry plot at Case. This is one of 4 plots nationally. The other plots are located at 3 strategic locations island-wide. The one at Case is seeking to capture information that would assist or look at the crop's behavior at this particular elevation and climatic conditions. So we are currently assessing responses to growth, and that's essentially it. We're seeking to capture that, then we're going to compare and contrast those with the other areas, and then this will be able to, the results from this, we hope that we'll be able to guide the policy environment for strawberry production in the future.
My name is Gard Scott. I'm actually the person in charge of the aquaponics unit. So here we are at the Case Aquaponics unit. So just to give you an idea about the agricultural practices that we do at the Case Aquaponics unit, we are basically have an integration between fish and vegetable, where we have a stocking density of 1 fish per 3 gallon of water here. And with our 1 fish per 3 gallon of water, we feed the fish 1% of their body weight, and we feed them 3 times per day. The fish are basically providing the nutrients for this vegetable, and at this moment we are actually monitoring these vegetables. These are 3 weeks old. We take and wait every week for the sample, and at this stage, at 4 weeks old, they are actually producing 0.7 pounds per plant, and therefore we are actually going to keep them just for the end of this week, and they should be harvested and supplied to the cafeteria at the end of the week. All the information about the operation here is recorded on a computerized system. So daily we take water quality management. So we do our TDS, we do our pH, we do our temperature. We record on a daily basis what we do on our computer system here. Our feeding, we record the feeding, the daily feeding. We also do our sampling, so the daily gain, weight gain, we also record that in our computer system. And as it relates to the vegetable, we do weekly analysis of the crop, so we record our growth rate per week on our recording system. So all the information is kept on our recording system here on our computer. We have a tablet that we go around on the farm with, and we keep our information there so we can have it at our fingertip whenever we want it.
My name is Kevin Wilson. I'm an instructor at the dairy unit, right? We specialize in dairy here. At this tutorial farm, we engage students to get involved with agricultural practices where they can effectively work in the working world, right? So one of these practices includes whenever we have an offspring, we ensure that these offspring, which we call the calf, get their colostrum from their mother. It is very important for their health and their safety as it provides antibody, nutrients, and also it acts as a laxative to allow them to pass their first feces. What we do here is mainly get students to engage in the proper agricultural practices where food safety is concerned and health benefits towards human and also the animal themselves. One of these we try to do is maintain low bacterial count in the milk production when we harvest the milk from the cow.
My name is John Luke Evans. I'm a student here at College of Agriculture and Science Education, and today I'll be speaking to you about sanitization here at the dairy unit. So every morning our pens are scraped, and then we wash the pens with soap and water, which afterwards we disinfect the areas. The trough space, we clean them out, clean out all the dry grasses, and then of course we feed our concentrate. The calves are also being filled with milk fresh milk that we use. We milk the cows every morning. We wash the bottles first, then of course we get the milk and then we feed the calves. The bottles are then washed and then placed on dryers for storage. The disinfectants after use are always being stored in the storage rooms for themselves also.
I'm Derek Deslandes. I'm the president of the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, located here in the beautiful parish of Portland. Case has been around for quite a while, and we first started as the College of Agriculture at this location. And the facilities you see now today are the same facilities that our students have been trained on 40 plus years ago. Now the world has moved on, and the world has certainly become more conscious in terms of safety, more conscious in terms of not just safety for the food but safety for the animals. The world has become more conscious about what we call the comfort of the animals. So we can no longer treat the animals as we would normally just graze them and that's it. No, we have to ensure that they are properly fed, they are properly watered, they get the right medicines, and that we house them effectively and properly. So what you're seeing now at CASE is an attempt to transform the institution to represent effectively what we know, what the industry requires, for example. So we're trying to adhere to not just industry standards, but world standards. Because we recognize that if we want to become a university of choice in this region, certainly in the area of agriculture, we have to start to operate as if we are operating in international or international space. So much of what we do now is tagged in an international standard. And in fact, we are now discussing internally moving towards ISO 9000 certification because we recognize the importance of standards and to ensure that our students are taught. So when they go in industry, they can effectively represent CASE and themselves in a way that will enhance the value of what is produced in terms of safe food. Now, a lot of our students now are trained on these archaic systems, and when they go to the industry, they struggle to make that transition into the more modern designs. We are attempting to do that now. So when the students leave here, they are shovel ready, as Jampo Diners would normally say. They are shovel ready. They are ready for the working world. They can step into iPro or Jamaica broilers, Karen broilers, and be ready from day one. That they can provide guidance to farmers in terms of how the farms are managed based on the standards that we want to inculcate in them. We train them, but the practical facilities lag the training, and we need to get the practical facilities up to a level where it matches the training. We have started to discuss with organizations certifying their workers in critical sectors relating to agriculture and ensuring that our students are trained, that their workers are trained and certified. We have been having discussions with Surge, we have been having discussions with True Juice. We regularly provide students to these organizations who are seeking students for work. So we already play that role, but what we're now looking at is, can we go into these organizations and certify staff members so that these staff members can operate according to the standards in terms of food safety and to represent Jamaica in a way that Jamaica has always been represented, ensuring that our people get safe food, our people have access to good food and quality food. Quality has never been a problem for Jamaica, and safety has never been a problem, but we have to maintain that focus, but we can't lose sight of the risk that will happen if we make a mistake and we make the kind of errors that others have made globally that threatens the safety of food, whether it is salmonella or whatever other issues that may come about. So for us, it's a mission. It's a mission not just to transform CASE into a university of choice, but it's a mission to ensure that we are producing graduates of the highest quality that can go anywhere in the world and perform. And critical for us because we feed ourselves. Food safety is important.
Arthur, you would have heard from our PAHO representative with her message and also the tour from the College of Agriculture, Science and Education. And we are now going to the closing moments of our ceremony. But anybody can tell me what is it? Another question, what is the theme for World Food Safety Day? What is the theme that we're using for World Food Safety Day? Orlando, I think this is your chance. I say Orlando. His hand is up. All right, let's try Orlando.
Safe food now for healthy Jamaica.
That's a local theme.
And you want the international one as well, correct?
And here we have it.
Give me a second.
Yeah, take too long, man. You're supposed to know it.
Safe food now for a healthy tomorrow.
Is that correct? Or him sound? Okay, so Orlando finally gets a prize, right? All right, so we have Orlando. Oh, well, winner here.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, now we're gonna have a message from the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Honorable Floyd Green. So let's hear the message from our minister at this time.
The National Codex Committee of the Bureau of Standards, all our various stakeholders, our farmers and fishers and those involved in the production of food, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good day to you all. I'm really excited to join you today on World Food Safety Day 2021. It is no secret that the most essential element for all of us as human beings is food. But there is a reality. Over 2 billion people across the world do not have regular access to safe and nutritious meals. This reality is even more stark when you consider that the world's population is growing. And as such, access to safe food, matters such as food security, are matters of concern worldwide. This is why the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is happy to join with the rest of the world as we celebrate World Food Safety Day under the theme, Safe Food Now for a Healthy Jamaica. And today I speak to you briefly on behalf of the 230,000 farmers or 26,000 fishers who ensure that through their resilience, our country has access to some of the world's best and safest food. Our food heroes must be celebrated. Food safety is critical to safeguarding public health through ensuring that our consumers always have access to safe foods. The government of Jamaica, therefore, continues to intensify its efforts at improving food safety. We increase our efforts significantly to combat the consumption of unsafe food, which often result in foodborne illnesses and even death, while taking care in carrying out a number of food safety practices. The critical agencies around this drive are the Bureau of Standards, who has taken on the role of bringing us all here today, the National Compliance Regulatory Authority, and at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, our own Plant Quarantine Division and Veterinary Services Division. In this regard, over the next 5 years, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries will be taking specific steps to strengthen our divisions around food safety. In fact, under our Modernization of Agriculture program, Component 1 is directly targeted at agricultural health and food safety. This Modernization of Agriculture program is a US $25 million program, which will help us increase things such as our plant pest surveillance, our plant protection unit. It will also ensure that we can do more crop surveys and train our farmers in relation to safe pesticides use. Additionally, we'll be strengthening our Veterinary Services Division. We'll be equipping our Veterinary Services Lab and our Residue Lab, and we'll be going to train our livestock farmers, as we want to ensure that the livestock sector has good agricultural practices. One of the challenges that our farmers have had in relation to food safety has been inadequate storage facilities. And it's another matter that the government is moving with alacrity to address. And that is why we have announced an 18-month program to establish a cold chain network across the country at the cost of about $157 million to ensure that in our highly productive areas, we can significantly reduce loss and we can ensure that our farmers are adequately, appropriately, and safely storing their perishable agricultural items. We all have a role to play in food safety. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries takes this very seriously, and we will continue to partner with our sister ministries to ensure that Jamaica can say that we have the safest food on earth. Enjoy World Food Safety Day.
That's the message from the Honorable Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries. And I hear on good authority that we have 2 more giveaways. Orlando hand still up. This is not good. Let me lower his hand. All right. Let me, Orlando, your hand up. Your hand is lowered. Okay, good. The next question now is, name the 3 main ministries that are involved in food safety and the planning of this event and the celebration and of World Food Safety Day and the lead up. Name the 3 main ministries that are involved. Use the raise hand feature. You can win a gift basket. Anybody knows the 3 ministries? All right, I see Rosaline. Rosaline can unmute and tell us.
Okay, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Right, so the 3 ministries are Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Ministry of Health and Wellness, and the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. Am I correct?
Sound like it? Yes,
Oh.
you are correct.
Okay, great.
Yes, Rosalind, congratulations. Just put your information in the chat to the panelists and we'll be in touch with you.
No problem, thank you.
Collect your gift basket. Congratulations. All right, so at this time, we're going to have the closing remarks now by Dr. Miguel, Dr. Susan McLennan Miguel. She's a senior veterinarian specialist for public health in the Public Health and Food Safety Unit, the veterinary division of the Ministry of Agriculture, right? Yeah, so at this time, we welcome Dr. Miguel to give her closing remarks. Over to you, Doc.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. The Honorable Audit, Minister of Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, the Honorable Floyd Green, Minister of Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, our international guest speakers from Pan American Health Organization, from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, from the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, for our speaker this morning, Mr. Colin Cooper from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and Mr. Chairman himself. Ladies and gentlemen, pleasant good morning to you all. I deem it a great honor to propose the vote of thanks to all who have helped us in making World Food Safety Day 2021 a resounding success. This year, most of our events were held virtually. I appreciate all of you who log on to the various social media platforms throughout the week, watching food safety videos, reading articles of food safety systems in Jamaica, taking the time to register and participate in the various webinars throughout the week. The social media feedback that we have gotten so far is that persons have really enjoyed the past week of events. And we're looking forward to the rest of the week to access these various social medias. The concept from farm to fork will now be a household conversation, a norm in everyday activities. And that is one of the goals that we hope with all of these events that was held. World Food Safety Day have two very important words in it: food and safety. Food, we all need because we need it to stay alive. Safety, because we need to stay healthy. So when you hear the word food safety, for all of us, it means we need to have food to keep alive and to keep healthy. These words work hand in hand. And the theme today is Team Up for Safety, to raise the awareness of that our food can be contaminated and we can become ill from these foodborne pathogens. And so food safety is a shared responsibility. So the theme for this year is Safe Food for All for a Healthy Tomorrow. But the planning committee decided to put a little spin on it and say, Safe Food for All for a Healthy Jamaica. The goal was to build the momentum to the big day, which is today, to increase the awareness of food safety and decrease the illness from contaminated food and water. Foodborne illness is preventable by the actions we take. Creating a food safety culture must be a way of life. Throughout the week, we started off with a church service. I would like to thank the Webster Memorial United Church for allowing us to begin our food safety events and allowing Mr. Damian Rowe, a senior plant quarantine/SPS inquiry point officer from the Plant Quarantine and Produce Inspection Branch of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, to speak about how World Food Safety Day will be very important for Jamaica. We also had a lovely display of webinars. Wednesday, the live discussion with the sector. I would like to thank our distinguished panelists, Dr. Keith Emil from Caribbean Broilers Group of Companies, Dr. Sarah Watson, the Executive Director of the Scientific Research Council, and of course, Ms. Dorothy Campbell, the Communication Specialist at the Consumer Affairs Commission, for their excellent presentations of the food safety issues and provide solutions for tomorrow. We thank the moderator, Mr. Earl Stewart, as he brought this beautiful panelist discussion, which was very interesting and meaningful. On Wednesday, we had AgroBuzz radio program and interviewed by Paula Ann Porter on RGR 94.5 FM on the role of the National Codex Committee and World Food Safety events and what consumers can do to keep their food safe. Thursday, before I go to Thursday, we also had a nice conclusion in where we also had videos that were being run on the social media platforms. Thursday's event was the Jamaica Information Services think tank session, which was conducted with 3 members on the planning team. Dr. Lynette Peters from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Suzanne McLennan-Miguel from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, and Mr. Lenward Clark from the National Compliance Regulatory Authority. They spoke on the role of their respective government entities in implementing food safety control system, and we appreciate all of them. Thank you very much. On Friday, we had another amazing webinar entitled Food Safety Policies and Regulations. There were 9 great speakers who expounded on the various policies and regulations. And if they were not regulators themselves, they spoke of their supportive role in ensuring safe food practices. Thank you for sharing the vital information with us all. The moderator, Mr. Stephen Davidson, who is our moderator today as well, did an excellent job. We had 3 main government entities who spoke on the oversight of food on this webinar. On June 6th, which is Sunday, There was Get the Facts GIS program with Mr. Colin Cooper, the environmental health specialist from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. It was an insightful discussion. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for the time and gracious explanation that he gave on food safety and the encouragement of customers to look at what they're buying, where they are buying it. Thank you, Mr. Cooper. The World Food Safety Day, the third observance with the world. Here in Jamaica, it has been a resounding success. I've seen so many stakeholders team up with us to answer the call for food safety, calling for action. We did field visits, as you saw the videos earlier today, going to the different establishments and seeing firsthand the food safety system and practices that they had. We'd like to extend a warm thank you to all of the food business operators that allow us to come into their establishments. Island Grill of Jamaica, Separate, Case. We really appreciate all the time that you're giving us. Of course, we had those videos as well from Jamaica Boilers Group of Company. Thank you very much. And from others, the homemakers, the farmers, the children, those who share their pictures, hashtags. We thank you very much for allowing us to use you as part of the World Food Safety events. Sponsors, we can't leave them out. I especially like to thank our sponsors, without whom all these events may not have been possible. The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce Trade Union, the technical support they gave us was excellent. The Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Jamaica Boilers' participation in today's event, Caribbean Boilers, we thank you very much. Behind the scenes, we had our technical team as well, and we want to extend a thank you to them. Orain Wallace did an excellent job, provided technical assistance to the committee and most of the videos that you see here today. GIS also supported us, and we'd like to extend a thanks to them. Monique Oates and Omar Davis, the public relation team that helped us with the video from Case. Thank you very much. And for the 3 Ministry Communication Unit, great job in getting information out to Jamaica on the different platforms. We had persons from EU, America, CARICOM countries, all tuning in to our various events this week. The World Food Safety Planning Committee members of 29, I would like to express for the National Codex Committee and the World Food Safety Planning Committee for our profound gratitude for the week of events that you participate with us to get it going. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and a bird's eye view for details. We have been privileged enough to be backed up by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues, of whom know their job and are result-oriented. I would like to acknowledge our gratitude to these hardworking members. The organizations that were a part of the team as well. And we've mentioned Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. We're also Ministry of Health and Wellness, Ministry of Finance, Jamaica Custom Agencies, Barjon Industrial Supplies Limited, UE, and members of the National Codex Committee, Jamaica Manufacturing and Exporters Association, Office of the Cabinet Public Sector Transformation Modernization Division, and other communication units. On this, the 3rd year of World Food Safety Day, June 7, Jamaica celebrates with the world, raising awareness to how our food should be kept safe and what we can do to continue to do so. We also like to thank PAHO, ECO, and FAO for their contribution in making this possible. These events wouldn't have been successful. Thank you very much for all your efforts. The day is not yet over. We have another webinar at 1 to 3 p.m. this afternoon on Codex. I would like to thank all the panelists and the moderators for this event that is coming up. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks first to Mrs. Sharon Lewis. I cannot thank her enough for the involvement and willingness she took on to help us with the administrative tasks that we had to do. Second, Ms. Renee Cowan, Technical Specialist, Trade Facilitation Task Force from the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, the hard-working wheel behind all these events. We thank you very much for your hard and dedicated work, the long hours and the calm disposition that you have. Thank you very much. Finally, I would like to thank all of you viewers and listeners who have joined us in the celebrations. I hope that last week and this week, you have learned more about how the government and private sector are doing in keeping your food safe, how your food is grown, harvested, transported, processed, labeled, tested, stored, and prepared to make it safe for all of us to eat. Thank you so much for your valuable attention, for asking questions, expressing your opinions. I heartily congratulate all the winners who participated in the quiz. You were excellent listeners. If I've left out anyone who has contributed to the success of these World Food Safety Day events, I thank you all. We are all inspired today to strive for safe food now and for tomorrow. Yes, for Jamaica. I thank you and wish everyone a good, safe day.
And thank you, Dr. Miguel, for all your support and your hard work and your contribution to making this celebration a success. Thank you so much for all that you do in the organizing team as well. Thank you again. I think we have a final question. Who's fast on the fingers? What date is World Food Safety Day? Let me see. If we don't win already, we can't win again, you know. I want somebody else to win. All right, let me allow Sharon. Sharon Lewis. Can unmute and let me hear your answer. Sharon, you don't want the prize. All right, we're gonna go to Charmaine. Let me hear if Charmaine has the answer. Charmaine, put her hand down. All right, nobody wants that prize. Oh, Sharon did get it. She says the 7th of June each year. All right, she typed it in. All right, so congratulations to Sharon Lewis for winning the final prize. And I want to thank all of you again for joining us for this closing ceremony for World Food Safety Day. That's today, when we're still celebrating the celebration, and the day continues. So go over to your social media pages and tag and follow and like and share content regarding World Food Safety Day. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day and continue to be safe. Bye-bye.
Amongst us, in our homes and close to the food we eat, live some mysterious, tiny, yet extremely energetic creatures. Much smaller. These are microorganisms, extremely small living beings. There are 3 different types of microorganisms. The good ones help to produce foods and drinks such as cheese and yogurt, fermented meat, and fermented vegetables. Some other microorganisms are annoying. These are the bad ones. They are responsible for the foul smell, bad taste, and repulsive look of rotting food. But they normally don't cause diseases. But it's the other kinds of microorganisms that we really need to be afraid of. They don't cause food to smell bad, and they don't change the way it looks. They are the dangerous ones, and it's necessary to be very careful with them. These are known as pathogenic microorganisms, and they can cause severe illnesses such as stomach pains, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and even death. They're deceitful, invisible, and dangerous. These tiny beings are very, very prolific. To increase in number, they need food, water, time, and warmth. They can multiply very quickly. Fortunately, no matter how strong and frightening these microorganisms are, they are preventable and vulnerable. It takes as little as 5 simple rules, 5 behavior keys to get rid of them. Protect yourself and your family from diseases in the home. The rules are easy to apply. These are your 5 keys to safer food. Keep clean to prevent contamination. Separate raw and cooked foods to avoid cross-contamination. Cook thoroughly to kill microorganisms. Keep food at safe temperatures, either hot or cold, to prevent bacterial growth. Use safe water and safe raw materials to avoid contamination. Food producers are the ones primarily responsible for the safety of the food you buy. But you can protect yourself and your family from diseases in the home by applying the 5 keys to safer food. Use them. You also have a role to play.